So in this video, I'm going to be demonstrating how to do the gram staining. So I have my culture plate with my sample in it. I have an inoculating loop. I have a lighter, wax pencil, microscope slide, and some saline. I also have all the stains that I need for the gram staining. I have crystal violet, I have iodine, decolorizer, and the saffron stain. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is going to be doing a small little circle on this microscope slide. I have a small little circle on this slide. Next thing I'm going to be doing is adding 1 drop of saline into that circle. So now I'm going to be using the inoculating loop. I'm going to use this to gently scrape up some of my sample and then put that onto my microscope slide. So I have my sample right here, and I have that 1 drop of saline, and I'm going to put this onto the slide. Like that. Stop. So I've let this sit for a couple minutes now, just letting it air dry. I'm going to be using a lighter just to pass through the flame.
What did he weigh again? 16 something?
He's 17.1.
So now I have my microscope slide with my sample on it. I'm just going to place this on the rack over here so that I can stain it. So the first stain that I'm going to be using is the crystal violet. I'm just going to pour some of this over this for about, let it sit for 30 seconds and then rinse it off. I put the crystal violet on the slide, let it sit, and then I'm just going to let it rinse off with some water. Next stain I'm going to be using is my iodine solution. Again, just pouring this over the slide and letting it sit for 30 seconds. Okay, now I'm going to just gently wash this off again. Okay, and now this time I'm going to use the decolorizer stain. I'm just going to rinse off the whole slide. Let that sit for a couple seconds. Just making sure that all the purple is washed off of it. The last thing I'm going to be using is the saffron stain. So again, just covering the whole slide with the stain. Letting that sit for 30 seconds for this one. Now pouring off the rest of the stain under the tap water. Now I'm gonna let this sit and air dry, and then I can have a look at it through the microscope. So I let my microscope slide dry for a little bit. I'm gonna place it under the microscope. Start by turning it on and seeing if this bacteria is gram negative or gram positive. If the sample is gram positive, then it's going to stain purple, and if it's gram negative, it's going to stain red. So I'm just going to start by adjusting the microscope slide, putting it into focus. Starting on the lowest power and looking at the entire slide. So here I can see my sample on the microscope. And so far it is looking to be stained red. Now I'm moving it up to the next power. Same thing, just looking at the entire slide. And then moving up power, just to see more detail of what I'm seeing under the microscope. So next I'm gonna add a drop of immersion oil to my sample and look on it for the higher setting. Adding a small drop to my sample with my immersion oil. And now looking at it for the last setting. So by looking at this through the microscope, I can see that this sample has been stained red, which is meaning that this is gram negative.